So I'm going to show you how to get set up with your own custom domain, pointing it from GoDaddy into Uscreen. By default, when you actually create your Uscreen account here, we're going to provide you with a subdomain here on our uscreen.io domain. And so let's actually have a look at this. Essentially, when we create this for you, we're actually giving you an SSL certificate. We include that in our services here. But if you want to point your own custom domain to us, we're going to have to actually install an SSL certificate for you. And this can take around 24 hours-ish. So definitely don't leave this to the last minute. Even a day before your launch is a little cutting it close, because there could be things to troubleshoot. Things can go wrong here. And even after you finish doing this, you'll want to make sure that you're testing purchases on your storefront before you go live. So definitely keep that in mind here. Don't leave it to the last minute. Okay, so what we'll do, we're going to go into GoDaddy here. And typically in GoDaddy, you're just on your main page here, in which case we're going to go to Manage Domains. And then under your domain here that you want to point to us, just click this three-dot menu and then Manage DNS. Okay, so that'll take a sec to load. While we're doing that, let's pull open this custom domain hosting with GoDaddy article in the Help Center. And there's a couple things here. It's going to tell us that we need these 2 A records. And we're going to actually copy paste this into GoDaddy here. So I'm going to grab this IP address. But essentially, we need an A record for www and for this @ symbol. And what this means is that someone's going to be able to access your website basically by going to www.yoursite.com or just yoursite.com. People are pretty used to being able to do both, so we need to make sure that we're set up to do that in Uscreen as well. Okay, so back in GoDaddy here, we're going to be presented with our records page here. And what I'm going to do, just based off what I saw here, this A and this @ symbol here, I'm going to look for these to make sure they don't already exist. And I can tell right off the bat there isn't an A record with this @, so we're going to edit that one. But I don't have a www one here. Now, the other thing to keep an eye out for is that you might have a CNAME record for www on top of an A record for www. If that's the case, if you have a CNAME with www, just make sure you delete that one. This will cause conflicts. I can show you a way to kind of test this in a sec here though. So right off the bat, yeah, well, let's edit this one. And we know our IP, I copied that to my clipboard. And I'm going to paste that in and save that. Now, if you don't see pencil icons here, that typically means that you're actually forwarding your record management somewhere else. And you can tell if you scroll down here and under this domain section here, you'll see some values here, and you can see a trash can just to delete that. So if there's no pencil icons, that's how you fix it. Okay, and then we're going to add another A record as we discussed. And we're going to, oh no, we had www and points to. And you'll note that this name column, it's the same as this host column. It's a little confusing how GoDaddy has it set up. But when I save it, the www will be under name. So that is all we need there. Yeah, and again, you can keep that TTL as 1 hour. If it's different, it's not too big of a deal, so don't worry about that. But I have these 2 records now set up correctly. Okay, so next step is I'm going to go to this website called dnschecker.org. And I'm going to actually, back in GoDaddy here, I have my Uscreen tutorial.online. I'm just going to copy paste that over. And in this example, make sure you're selecting this A. I think when you load the website by default, it should be set as that, but just double check that. And every single thing here should actually resolve to this IP address here. We can't actually install the SSL certificate until everything is kind of correctly resolving here. So if you, and another kind of curious thing here, so if you see multiple values in the same line here, that would mean that there is a conflict somewhere in here. You've got a duplicate A record or the CNAME record pointing to 2 different places. So that'll kind of help verify what's going on here. But again, this can take, you know, a good 15 minutes, an hour, sometimes even a day to kind of propagate around through the world. It's not always instant. Okay. So now that it does look like everything is good here, same IP address all the way down, I'm going to go back to Uscreen. I'm going to use different domain, and we'll go custom domain. And then we'll just paste that over here, Uscreen tutorial.online. You'll notice I didn't put www, and that's because we're going to handle that on our end. We're going to handle the ability to kind of redirect to this naked domain here. So you don't have to worry about that. Just paste in your top level domain here. So let's hit connect and hit continue. So this might say in progress. I already kind of had this previously installed, so kind of ignore this on the video here. But you should see in progress here, and just, yeah, again, it'll take about 24 hours, and then you can come back here and to see that status at some point, and you should be good to go.